Good dog, and welcome back to the Norwegian campaign again. And as you can see, I have not yet retired. It is not yet 1965. My fleets are moving out, and you may also see that we are again at war with Britain. They actually went to war with Greece. He's our ally. So that's how that happened. Now, I've sent some ships down here to engage this task force. It's a pretty big task force. I'm pretty sure those 7 battleships are the new, well, it was new, British Hibernia class battleship, of which I have the lead ship. I refit this though. So we're going to fight it in its original configuration. Britain has 1 port left here in Napari. So I've sent some ships down there too. So we're going to capture that, and once we've taken this, Britain will actually cease to exist as a nation. They're going to dissolve. If I'm lucky, the army will actually take northern Rhodesia, Transvaal, and Orange Free State while I'm doing the naval invasion. If not, these are just going to end up as ungoverned. So we're just going to have to see what happens with that. The timing of this war, let's see. Yeah, they're being commissioned still. The first 3 of these new super battleships we designed last episode are already finished. You know, it was peacetime. I was just clicking through the months, so time does fly when you do that. What has also happened since last time is France. They were, I think they were here, maybe? No, here. They also went to war with Greece and dragged me in. They had no ships at all, so it wasn't much of a battle. I just sent a couple of cruisers, took their island, and now France is also out of the game. Seeing as they had no ships, you didn't miss anything. Anyway, on to July of 1963. And it does look like the game has given me all the battles I wanted. War with Britain and the United States. Okay, so this strike here actually is a real battle because they had ships in port. Sadly, my supporting battleships did not arrive in time. I sent a couple of battleships here too. So it's just battlecruisers versus this. I mean, we should be okay. What I could have done is just click withdraw, not taken the strike mission, and then just done it next turn after the battleships arrived to join in. That would probably work, although there is a chance that the enemy ships might leave port in that case. Let's see, squadron of 4 Vikings still hanging around, still being very good torpedo delivery systems. Let's see, how far out is the enemy? 60 kilometers. So let's take a look at what we're up against. Now, the Hibernias I've seen before, because I've got one of them. It's got some armor. Although, no, not that much. It only has 2 Citadel belt layers. Is that Citadel 3? Okay, this thing is really built on a budget, which is probably the right thing for Britain to do at this time. Yeah, only 1 billion. That's pretty impressive. Now, battlecruiser Hector is an unknown quantity. Let's see. Yeah, that's a bit more hefty. I will need 45 inches of penetration to go through that third inner belt. It's also fast, but it only has 15-inch guns. It does have 10 of them, though. Of course, in a weird Q turret setup, because Britain, you know, they gotta be special. They can't just do a normal ABXY layout. I've only got 14.5s, though. Let's see, 40-kilometer range. Yeah, I am outranged. But just by a little bit. Should be fine. I can assign 2 battlecruisers to each of their capital ships. Let's see, am I firing? Yes, I am. I am firing. Of course, we are targeting some really dumb stuff. Some of my ships are targeting a destroyer. And some of my ships are still targeting a destroyer because, you know, why listen to your actual orders? There we go. Now my destroyers are being targeted. Just gonna line them up and start launching. Viking 41, you took a pretty mean hit there. Alright, torpedo time. You're gonna target Hector. 42, you're also gonna target Hector. 44 and 43 get to target King George. Well, Viking 41 didn't take too much damage from that, actually. That's a little bit worse, though. But she might make it home. Let's just have all of you split up. Now back to the battlecruisers, which now get to work unmolested because my destroyers are taking all the attention. Let's see, are we gonna get any I think we're gonna get some torpedo hits here. This does not look like a bad volley Hector is gonna take 3, actually. I thought it was only gonna take 2. Now King George. 4. So far, no hits on King George. But plenty of hits on Hector. King George made it through unmolested. But there we go. You get a good 4-belt pen with the 14.5s. Is this an unsinkable? I don't remember. 41 might not make it home. But she did her job, so it's okay. Actually, 41 might make it. By virtue of the enemy capital ships now sinking. Hector is taking too much flooding from those torpedo hits. She's not gonna make it. That means all battlecruisers can now focus on King George. Viking 41 did not make it. King George does not flood. She's got the magic foam. Evidently. Fenris, you can actually put your main guns on Firefly. I wonder if that applies to the Hibernia class battleship that I took as war operations as well. Let's see. Maybe, like so. There we go, good hit on Firefly. And King George is just about done. He's now switching fire to my battlecruisers, but that was too late. He's gonna score 1 hit though. It was blocked. That's gonna hit. Any more? It's mainly the gun recoil holding me back. See if they're actually gonna obey my speed setting and reduce speed down to cruising speed. Very, very slowly. It seems only the lead ship. Come on. It's not that hard to hit. Yeah, it's mostly the gun recoil after... oh, see, there we go. That's a solid couple of hits. Now the hit rate should go up, now that it's a lot slower. Fine, I guess we're just gonna have to sail closer. Well, they have reduced speed. They do get some of that cruising speed bonus. Let's just up the game speed here, get it done. There we go, finally. Alright. And that was, yeah, Viking 41 unfortunately didn't make it, but she did score 3 torpedo hits, which isn't bad. And that was torpedo hits on a pretty expensive battlecruiser too. We're gonna fight you to the end, and here's the big battle. 7 Hibernia class battleships, and are these the, yeah, 2 of those Furious class battlecruisers, and some other ships that we've, the Gnat, that's a new one, not seen that before. Anyway, we've got the 4 greats: Björnson, Kielland, Ibsen, Lee, supported by some cruisers, and 6 Vikings. Nice. Let's go. Alright, so we're going to be facing a lot of 18-inch guns from these 7 battleships. They may only have 6 each, but again, 7 ships. Let's organize the divisions. Heavy cruisers, just follow for now. Light cruiser, you can also just follow, I guess. So I have something nearby that has sonar and decent torpedo spotting, and we got our 6 Vikings set up in 2 divisions of 3. That's kind of perfect, actually. Right, let's go find the enemy. Are they already visible? They are. Alright. It's gonna be a little bit annoying with all the smoke from those destroyers hiding the targets, but I think we'll be able to make do. Standard shells ammo, yeah. Might run out of ammunition, but probably not. I don't think it's gonna take that many hits from these massive 20.5-inch guns to sink those Hibernias. Or the battlecruisers. I'm gonna set them on save, just in case. There we go. We are now firing. Means I need to select some targets, so I'm not wasting my ammunition on stuff that is not that important. Caesar, Vengeance. Okay, they're not quite in range yet, but they're gonna be in range. Triumph. That is one of the liberties. This is one of the new gnats, and yeah, it looks like kind of gunboat, corvette kind of deal. 20-inch torpedoes. It's smaller and cheaper than the Liberties, which again might just be what Britain needs to build if they're confined to a tiny island in the middle of the Pacific. So not really judging them for that. That's a play that makes sense. Not that I think the AI is thinking about things that much. Just by chance did something that made sense. Okay, we're smoking. We're gonna have nice torpedo solutions on their battleship line from all of these Vikings. And there we are. We are in range from the back. Vengeance. Barfleur. Triumph. To enjoy your complimentary torpedoes. Caesar, Vengeance, and also Vengeance, I guess. So angle on these not gonna be that good. Probably gonna be quite a few duds. Come on, you're gonna launch soon. You got the range. There you go. All of you have launched. All of you can go home. How about you? You're in the process of launching right now. Perfect. I don't think I'm gonna go for a second torpedo strike, so they can just keep sailing for home. Let's go with HE. You've taken some damage. You've taken 20-inch hits. That's nice. Yeah, I might get some decent torpedo hits on these after all. When the torpedoes arrive. Which they do right about now. Viking 32 sinks. Maybe like so. You can see the torpedoes coming in and the absolute carnage. One torpedo hit so far. It was a dud. Here come the ones that have better angles. And here come the actual torpedo damage as well. Triumph is going to eat a couple. Caesar sinks due to heavy damage. Torpedo hits so far. Oh, you guys have torpedoes launched at you. That's fine. I'd rather the enemy launch torpedoes at my destroyers that are tiny and cheap and hard to hit than at my massive super battleships that will have a very hard time actually maneuvering out of the way. Even if I'm paying attention and catch it on time. Ended up with 16 torpedo hits. That could be better. Could definitely have been better. That frontal launch just didn't really end up netting me that much torpedo damage. Anyway, let's reselect some targets here. Because whatever they were shooting at before may have sunk. Or I know it has. So we've sank some enemy battleships already. That's pretty good. My cruisers are in good shape. My battleships are also in very good shape. Jonas Lee has taken a couple of hits, but shrugged it off with the armor. Now that we have greatly reduced the number of big guns firing at our line, we can bring in the heavy cruisers to black screen against the enemy destroyers. Which is something you really don't want to do while the enemy still has a lot of active capital ships, because they're going to focus on the closest target. And if you stuff your cruisers between your battleships and the enemy battleships, well, the enemy battleships are going to ignore your battleships and start firing at your cruisers, which will probably not survive. That is indeed what is happening now. I thought I had done a better job messing up the enemy big gun line, but they're still active. We got some big guns seeing to that problem now. Yeah, we're gonna have to move these back. Especially Freya, you're not doing too hot at the moment. So much for that screening operation. Yeah, of course, that's right. I mean, it's been 5 minutes since I mentioned it, but the Hibernia class battleships, they don't flood. They got the magic foam. So until they are actually fully destroyed, they're gonna remain combat capable. They're not gonna suffer from angle issues because, well, they're not gonna be angled. Are you shooting at my light cruiser now? If you are shooting at my light cruiser, maybe my light cruiser will give you some torpedoes in return. I think my capital ships, my battleships, have got this in the bag. Ooh, Viking 30, you are hurting bad. Yeah, no, you can just keep going. Jupiter 6. Good. Furious will not survive this. It's just about to switch targets. Audacious is not doing well. You may now select your own ammunition, although that will probably... No, they're going to switch to AP. Surprisingly. My little spread of torpedoes will probably not hit anything. Now I can bring in the heavy cruisers, Einherjar and Frigg. Because now they do not have any any big guns left at all. These light cruisers only have 5.5-inch guns. That is no threat to my cruisers. Okay, they still have this battle cruiser, but because it does not have the bugged flooding thing, it is actually sinking, and it can't fire. Audacious goes down. That was such a good haul from that war with France, where I got these 4 super battleships. What's happened to you, Jonas Lee? You've taken a couple of penetrations from 15-inch gun. Ah, from the battle cruiser, the enemy battle cruiser. They got 15s. Who did that? Audacious. Or Furious. They were the ones damaging my destroyers as well. Alright. And we got enemy ships exploding. Even so, don't do the torpedo thing. You're gonna end up sinking your sister. Yeah, Frigg has torpedoes, of course. Because she's a Frigg class. That makes sense. That just didn't register with me. Nat is down, and that is the British task force sunk at the cost of 1 Viking. That's good enough. 7 battleships. Granted, very cheap, inexpensive battleships, reminding me of the ones I made in at the start of my Chinese campaign. Right around the same price point. Although I did not figure out a way to go with 18-inch guns, I had to settle for something a bit more mundane. So that's you know, getting 18-inch guns, 6 of them for $1 billion, and only 37,000 tons. That is, I'm still kind of impressed by that. That's enough to make this design a, if not a full win, at least not a fail, in my book. And yeah. But we have one more meeting, and it's my captured German battlecruiser versus 3 gnats. Right. Let's go for it. This ship has not seen much action. Any action, actually. Regular crew. I don't think she's been in combat at all after I took it over. You may notice the gap between the X and Y turrets, and that is because this had a when I took it over, one of those wonky turret layouts with Q and R turrets and whatnot. So this cannot go further forwards, and the X turret could not go further aft because that would be too far from previous place. But I was just about able to make it into an ABXY layout. So it kind of looks good though. Reminds me of the Congo. And there they are. 26.4 knots. Means I have an almost 10 knot speed advantage. .5 in secondaries. I had forgotten that. A little bit light in the armor departments. And the main gun department. So you get a little bit more broadside. There we go. Not that it matters too much in this context. They're not going to be shooting me back. And I think this ship has good enough angles on the main guns that it should still be able to fire. There we go. First hit on Hydra. You had 17-kilometer torpedoes. My secondaries outrange you. Just barely. So Hydra is mortally wounded, and she's not gonna be spawning anymore. They just have those 3, and that's it. Good hit on Gnat. There we go. Swatted. Switch the main guns to Werewolf. Secondaries can... never mind. Secondaries can target Hydra when she gets closer. Actually, they can already start peppering Werewolf. And the 7-inch guns already doing some damage. And Werewolf is down. Now back to Hydra. There we go. Good main belt pen for 43,000 damage. Right. Now with that, let us invade their last little island, which is going to take 210 tons. Even one of my 500-ton guard ships could take care of that. I'm just going to send these battleships home. They don't need to be here. Go back to Singapore and join the brand new Theodor Larsen class battleship, where you will sit and look pretty until I retire. Probably. But one thing that happened, it's probably not going to lead to a war, but Germany cancelled our alliance, and they're almost allied to Britain, so something could happen here. And they actually have a pretty decent navy. 157 ships, 2.3 million tons. I got 204 ships, 4.3 million tons. So yeah, I've got a bigger navy, but mine is kind of spread out all over my vast empire, while the German navy is gathered here 486,000 tons, 423,000 tons, 793,000 tons, and 73,000 tons. 74 almost. That's a lot of ships. Oh yeah, these are the new ones. These guys I'm gonna send home to gap a flow. Because it's about time we, just in case Germany tries something funny, it is probably a good idea to have, you know, some ships nearby to take care of things. Where's a big port I can use? Kiel, yes. I sent out multiple task forces because I wasn't quite sure what this British one was going to do, but anyway. Onwards to the naval invasion and the end of this war with Britain, and indeed the end of Britain. So that's going to be a 3-month invasion, and the army is actually doing things. So can they get it done and take Transvaal before I take the British island? Ooh, and looks like we have another land invasion going on here. It's a lot of stuff. Northern Rhodesia, 33%. Not really moving quick enough. What's your army logistics, Britain? 95. How do you have 95? Why is it not 0? Is that because you have some ships here? In active service. Well, looks like the army might not make it in time. Or maybe they are. Here we go. Hobart class light cruiser. They've made another one. Let's find out if this is also unsinkable. All right. You don't need to be here. Why are you not just in the division? Four battle cruisers might be a bit of overkill, but it's what we got. And we just gotta prevent the British from leaving the little island. There we go. That is their I forget the class name. Light cruiser. 4.2-inch main belt. Yeah, no, this is not very good. 7.1-inch guns, though. In a very wonky layout. At least it's not expensive. And not like super slow or anything, but that's a weird boat. Let's sink it. Is it in range yet? Should have checked. No, not yet. So we got one light cruiser and two of those little corvettes. You can target Loyal. The Ottoman gun. You can target the other Tigress. There. Oh, Guidem and Fenris focuses on the light cruiser. There we go, main belt pen for 30,000 damage. And that's half the ship taken away already. A couple more like that, and yeah, she's gone. Now we're just gonna swat these little flies. Very nice. Hits are being scored. Big damage numbers are going up. There we go. Nice. Alright. So, evidently not the toughest little corvettes. Now, I've taken their island, so they're gonna dissolve next turn. Not much advancing going on here. Probably won't happen before Britain dissolves and their all their stuff becomes ungoverned. Let's find out. In November of 1963. Well, Britain dissolved, and it looks like we get a war with Germany and the United States. So my prediction was on, and we do get a war with Germany. Alright. And the Britain has dissolved. Which means I didn't get any of these. But if my army want to march in and take them from ungoverned territory, there's no one else who's going to do that on the African continent. Well, okay, we got a couple of German colonies and one American colony, but that's fine. Maybe the army can take these. That would be nice. So, why is there a single destroyer out here? Go to port. This war with Germany will have to wait until next episode. So this task force is trapped. They're not getting out. Now, as it happens, the computer parts I ordered, they're going to be a little bit delayed because a couple of things were not in stock. So my plans of building a new one this weekend, that will not happen. That gives me at least time to finish off the war with Germany and then do the ship review video and then end the campaign once and for all. Let's see what to do with these battle cruisers. Germany, you got some stuff here, don't you? Yeah, you do. Do you have any ships in the Pacific? I don't think so. We got some ships here. we can send them to Port Said. Link them up with the yeah, with the task force here, and then this group of ships can then go and engage this German task force and start doing some naval invasions. And what else do we have? We've got a bunch of battleships here in Scapa Flow, and Narwhal is commissioning at midnight, I guess, or 2 months from now. Yeah, Germany, you have a lot of stuff. It's gonna be exciting, actually, to fight. Jonas Lee, you're 2 months repair for a tiny sliver of damage. It's kind of annoying. Where else do I have battleships? Here, Pensacola. Send you out. Can send out Dovre as well. Recently refit. What kind of destroyers did you have? A couple of Vikings. And do I want to send out Hibernia? I'm not sure. Anyway, next time we're fighting Germany, and I'm ending this here. I kind of wanted to do what was suggested, that I build a destroyer gunboat type class with long single 5-inch guns, or 5.9-inch guns actually. What I think I will do is the Jaeger 54 and 48 that are supposed to be gunboats but just never really worked out for that purpose. Just give these a refit to make them into that, because I've got quite a few of them, and if I'm gonna have them, then it would be better if they worked. So we might do that next time. Goodbye, and take care.